As a busy working mom, there are some days that are completely manageable. And then there's other days that are just completely chaotic. And I look back and I reflect and say, like, what the heck happened? In this video, what I want to talk about are the little mini systems that I've learned to put in place to help prevent the chaos or deal with the chaos when it's in progress. This is going to be all about those little mini systems that help me not lose my mind and stay in control of things as a busy working mom. So mini system number one is my emergency planning system using ChatGPT. And I certainly use this today. So I try not to use this every single day, but when life gets really chaotic or I have a lot of stuff that I need to get done, I have found this to be a phenomenal tool in helping me to organize and figure out how to plan my day to get everything I want to get done. So I don't use it every single day. I think that we want to still be building our executive functioning skills and be able to do that, but using this as an emergency tool every once in a while, especially when life is chaotic, I have found it to be extremely helpful. So the way that I used it today, because I had a really busy day and I did not get to do stuff I would normally do on Saturday, was I started by doing a brain dump. Now, you can do a brain dump on a piece of paper, and that is how I started it today, or you could just brain dump your stuff right into ChatGPT chat. The thing is, you need to make sure that you are telling it time frames or maybe how long certain things will happen. But for me, I like to brain dump on a piece of paper first because usually it helps me think of everything that I need to get done. And then I kind of just blah, 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 blah into ChatGPT, everything that I need to do, being careful to make sure that I'm telling it things like, hey, this might take me 15 minutes to do. I need to leave by 11:30 for church. I'm not going to get home until 1:30. I need to go grocery shopping. That takes me an hour and a half. I need to do my YouTube video. It takes me about 2 hours, or whatever it might be. I want to go for a walk, but I can't go for a walk starting after 4:30 p.m. It needs to know all that stuff, and then you ask it to make you a schedule, and it's going to spit something out for you. So I find this to be really helpful and helps me just kind of get the ball rolling instead of having a bunch of stuff in my mind that I'm trying to figure out, what am I going to do first? What am I going to start with first? It can just make the decision for you. Now, if it comes out with a schedule and you're like, oh, I like it, but just not these things, then you tweak it. You just tell it what you don't like and what you want to move. It will say, like, hey, if you need to cut things, this is what I would recommend cutting. Because if you are careful enough in your chat to it to tell what the highest priority things are for you to get done and by when, it can let you know those things as well. So I have found that this is extremely useful, especially on chaotic days when I don't know how I'm going to get everything done. This is the little mini emergency planning system that I love to use. Okay, so the next mini system is the house chaos and control system. And this really is like a chore system. I guess this just sounds a lot better, but this is what I consider a little mini system. And I wanted to talk about it. I've mentioned it before. I don't know if you can see over here, but I have these little popsicle sticks. Let's see, just so you can see. These little popsicle sticks that I use in these, it's actually candle holders, but everybody has, each one of these things like represent a person. And what I do normally is I lay out the popsicle sticks and they have like the chore written on them. They're also color coded. So like the weekly ones are color coded at the top with blue, bi-weekly is orange, monthly is red. So I can swap them out as needed. Everybody has a certain number of popsicle sticks that they are required to get done in a week's worth of time. So this makes sure that those things are getting done on a weekly, a bi-weekly, or monthly basis, and nobody questions like what it is that they have to get done. And I don't need to ask every single day, did you do your chores? Did you do your chores? Did you do your chores? Because that is so much fun to do. Instead, I just say, hey, by the end of the week, and for us that's like Sunday, by the end of the day, Sunday, I need to make sure that your chores are done. So if a kid wants to go on a sleepover, they can go on a sleepover Friday to Saturday or Saturday to Sunday, but they're still required to get their chores done by the end of the day, Sunday. This makes it so people can just stop over whenever, and I'm not embarrassed of my house. For the most part, it looks pretty clean and put together. Like the bathroom's not totally disgusting or, you know, just stuff and toys all over the place. This is just the way that I manage that chaos and keep the house clean, or at least appearing clean, and I'm not like overwhelmed by the mess. The next mini system is my food has a plan system. So I definitely have videos on here that talk about my meal planning system. So that's certainly a part of this system. I know exactly what we're going to have for dinner every day. And when I don't, life is chaotic and out of control. So I'm not going to share exactly how I do meal planning. I can link videos here for you if you'd like. But what I wanted to talk about is I implement that. So I have a plan for our food and what we're going to eat. Even if it's eating out, I make sure we have a plan. But on top of that, I also like to deal with our leftovers, and I was going to share that with you today because I use labeling to not only help us know what our leftovers are and maybe what they are and what we can eat after, but labeling your food makes it so when you need to clean out your fridge, it makes it so much easier. I can't tell you how many times I used to go into my fridge and I would look and I would just have a container and I would be like, I don't know if I can eat this. And I don't know if I can throw it out. And then you're like smelling it and trying to figure out what you're going to do with it because you don't want to throw it out and waste it. But when you don't know when or where it came from, it makes it so much harder. So I started to make sure after every dinner, I label our food. I put the date and I put on what it is. My husband is great at eating leftovers. He's probably like the #1 champ of eating our leftovers, which I really am grateful and thankful for because it helps us not waste so much food. But at the same time, there are leftovers that I like to eat. So I like to make sure that I label those things and I can eat them. But the bonus of labeling and dating your food is that you know exactly when it came from. So when you need to declutter your fridge, you know exactly what the date is of that product. There's no guessing. You're not like opening it up and trying to be like, what the heck is this? Can I eat this now? Should I not throw it out? Maybe I'll save it another week, especially if you put rules in place that say something like, I don't keep something for more than 2 weeks or more than 3 weeks. I'm going to throw it out. It makes cleaning your fridge so much easier. Trust me. Just start labeling your food. It will change your life. If you're finding this video helpful so far, I would really appreciate the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Mini system number 4 is my budget reality system, and that is the system that is going to give me mental peace to make sure I know exactly what is going on with my money. So I use an Excel spreadsheet to manage my money still. Believe me, I've tried to switch to different apps to manage my money, even something like Every Dollar from Dave Ramsey, You Need a Budget, so many different things. I've tried them all, and I've even gone to ChatGPT and I've uploaded like my budget in my Excel spreadsheet, and I said, are there any apps that can do this? And it said no. It said, Sarah, you are phenomenal. You are the best person ever. You are superb with money. I'm not superb with money, but this spreadsheet helps me know exactly where my money is at. And the big winner in it for me is that it helps project my future. So this is what I've actually seen lacking in most budgeting apps is they don't have like a good projection of what's going to happen with your money. So as I enter daily transactions in my system and I can true things up, I know exactly where I'm at. So maybe I didn't think I was going to spend $200 on grocery and I only budgeted for $150, but the reality is I did spend that money. How does that look for me for the rest of the month? Am I going to have enough money in my bank account to pay those bills? That is what this spreadsheet and this system does for me. Maybe I want to add a new monthly purchase. So we want to like buy something, but it's going to cost you $12 a month for like a subscription. This spreadsheet, I can put that in and I can see how that affects me. I can see if I have enough money to afford that. I totally get that you can do that with like a monthly budget and you know overall that you have enough money, but this spreadsheet and this budget reality system that I have going on helps me have peace of mind that I'm going to have enough money in the bank account on the days that the transactions come out. This little mini budget reality system is what helps give me the peace of mind to know that my money is not only there and that I have enough, but it's enough for what is actually happening in my real life. The last and final mini system is my kids' tech safety system. So what I'm talking about here is if you have any technology in your house, you really need to be mindful that it is being monitored or set up in a way that is going to restrict access to things that you do not want them getting to. So this has changed for me over the years. I use a combination of Bark right now and Verizon on their phone. It's a little bit complicated. It can be really frustrating. I feel like technology, what's the most frustrating is that there's not like a one size fits all. And especially for me, because I have an Android, my kids have iPhones, it's been hard to try to put something in place that I can see exactly what's going on with their iPhones. But what I will say is that your kids kids' safety when it comes to tech is extremely important, and it's really important to make sure that you're putting rules in place and you're also sticking to those rules. So if you have said like, hey, if I see this is happening or this is not being followed, you follow through with it. If you have a kid that is going to just freak out and melt down, then I would say maybe they should not have that phone in the first place. Like, my kids know this. If they are going to have a freak out moment because I take their phone away, they know that they are not going to probably get that phone back for a long time because that phone is just like too important for them. If they freak out about me monitoring their phones, same kind of thing. My kids know that I'm like monitoring their text messages. It's really important. Most of them are not anything really actionable. It's just kind of laughable. I sometimes show them and we laugh about it. Sometimes it is important and we do have to have conversations. And the most important thing as a mom or dad is you need to make sure that you're consistently following up on it. I don't think that you can really put in any technology and just be like, yep, tech's got it. Like, you need to consistently follow through with whatever your monitoring system is, or make sure that those restrictions are still in place. So for Bark, for instance, it's flagging text messages, and if I don't stay on top of those daily, it becomes something really daunting to go through and like read through. But if I make sure I every day am looking at them and seeing if there's something actionable, I can have that conversation quickly with my kid or try to figure out what's going on or what I need to like restrict. You know, if it's like, I don't really want you watching this on YouTube, I know right away. We have that conversation and then we just move on. We also use Verizon, and I have routines and schedules. Not routines, schedules in place, so it will automatically shut off at certain times. Because if we have a hard time with this as adults, just imagine how much harder it is for your kids to do this. If we cannot help but pick up our phone to look at social media every 5 minutes, your kids can't. And I do think also you need to consider that sometimes it's just not appropriate to give them certain things at certain ages. If you have not given them something, I would really consider if it's worth it or not. Sometimes there can be a social pressure to get something, and you really need to think about what you're giving them before you just give into it. For me, I've kind of set expectations with my kids on what type of things they are going to be able to have or not have. And sometimes it's just too bad, but their safety, it matters. Like, it's really important. So what I'm just trying to get at here is I have a little mini system that is set up between like Bark and Verizon. I need to make sure I'm consistently on it and monitoring it and tweaking it as needed and having the conversations as needed to make sure that they are safe when it comes to technology. If you like this video, I would really appreciate the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What of these mini subsystems do you have in place already, or what one are you looking to implement next in your life to just help you manage your chaos or get out of chaos quickly? Like I said, I'd love to hear from you, and if you want me to do a deep dive on anything, leave that in the comments below. I'll see what I can do to make that work. Thanks, guys.